What's up guys, Josh from Extreme Truck and Auto here. We are going to be installing a set of these Race Sport RGBW rock lights on this 4Runner. This thing's going to look pretty awesome once we're done, so let's go ahead and get into the install. So when it comes to rock light or any sort of RGB kind of thing, what I always recommend to customers is that you get the RGBW. The reason for that is one, it'll give you more of a range of colors, and two, the white is a true white. It shuts down the RGB, the red, green, blue, and just leaves the white on. So that way, once when it gets up in, you know, wheel wells and kind of higher up off the ground, you can see the division of the RGB and it's not a true white. It looks more rainbow. So that's why I would always recommend you do RGBW over RGB. So first thing I went ahead and did is I mounted the controller box for the rock lights up under the hood. The reason why I mounted up high is if the vehicle's ever used for overlanding or for whatever reason, it keeps it up out of the weather, keeps water from getting to the box. Now I'm gonna run the power cable all the way over here. Typically you would run some sort of fuse off of the battery into the vehicle to your switch and wire in a switch that way. Or another way you can do it, I'm not really trustworthy of apps, is you can just run power and ground straight to the box and then use your app to turn it on and off. My only concern is I don't necessarily trust applications to work 100% of the time. I would be concerned that it would pop on, so I always like to have some sort of physical switch that I can turn off to make sure the device is powered down. That neither being here nor there, we will be connecting it to the trigger system. I have videos over the system and why I really like them, so go ahead and go check those out. But we're gonna go ahead, since we got the controller box mounted, we're gonna hop up under the wheel wells and we're gonna start mounting the lights. I went ahead and kind of decided, let me flip my light on, where we're gonna kind of mount these with the red dots is how we're gonna run the wire coming off these rock lights, because I got to keep it tight up against the wheel well. Fortunately up here I have the plastic, I can tuck some of the wiring up in. We can come down across. Here it's going to get attached to plastic, so no issue there. But in the back, I got to figure out how I'm going to hold the wiring itself up against the wheel well, so that way when he's going over boulders and stuff, it doesn't want to rip that wiring out. Because the only other option is I punch a hole through the floor and then we run the wiring through the inside of the vehicle. Not really a big issue unless you're going to go through a water crossing of some sort. Then you have a hole in your boat and essentially you're going to get water inside of your vehicle. So these are all kind of problems that you guys got to think about when you're doing these installs, but let's get into it. So as you can see, I got the left side rock light kind of set up and figured out where I want it. What we're going to be doing is actually, this is into this plastic. The reason is that way we're not drilling into any of the metal. I don't know if that'll be possible on the rear. We'll just do it on both sides on the front, and that way the wire will run down and then we'll wrap it up back around to the control module that's in that corner. I do have the wires hooked up, so when it does come on, they'll both be kind of tucked up in there. So I think that'll give the customer a good light output and keep those lights protected and also all the wires hidden. So now I am off to the rear to figure that mount out. Once when I do, I'll bring you guys back and we'll get on to running all the cables. So as you can see, I came up with a way to mount the rear rock lights. What I did was use the self tappers up into the sheet metal of the body, go back through with silicone to make sure that the threads and the holes are at least sealed. Then we ran the wire up along the inside of here using those little zip tie holders. And then we're gonna continue running it along the frame all the way up to the controller at the front. Now that we've got it kind of figured out, things are gonna go much faster and we're gonna get this rock light install knocked out. Got all the wiring run under the hood. I'm gonna hit the switch that I turned them onto. If you look, we got two there, two there, two, Final set is 2. So now comes the fun part, is dealing with all of the spaghetti up under the hood. I will come get you guys when I'm done dealing with that. It's gonna take me a few minutes to get it all wrapped up the way I like. But when I do, I'll show you the final product, and then we will wrap this thing up. We got our spaghetti all cleaned up, back up in there, all run across. So this install is now complete and ready for the customer to pick up. That's it when it comes to the rock light install on this 2022 4Runner. If you guys have any questions, like I always say, drop it in the comments below. But if not, be sure to subscribe and I'll catch you guys on the next one.